Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And it's Thursday night, and every other Thursday night, I'm going to jump on every Thursday night, but every other Thursday night, I come on with a mystery challenge. And so today I posted some measurements for pieces that I asked you to get ready and come along, and we'll make a card together. You can make it however you want with these pieces, and I'll show you kind of my thinking about how I'm going to put my card together. On the opposite Thursday night, so next Thursday night, I will be back with a technique. So I'm kind of switching it up and doing a mystery challenge. And hey there, welcome. Not sure who that is. Trying to see, I've got my phone, see who's live. Okay, who's with me? Oops. You can make it however you want. Turn that off. I can't see who that is. Must be on my group. So if you haven't given, hey, Lynette, welcome. I can see Lynette. If you haven't given permission for StreamYard, that's Lynette. Oh, Catherine, that's who that is. You've lost permission on StreamYard. There we go. All right. Okay. So I've got my phone here just so that I can see who's on it as well. All right, so I posted the measurements and the shapes that you'll need. Hopefully you've got those and you'll make a card with me. And I will show you what I'm going to do. I am in love with this suite. I used it on Tuesday night if you were with me for the sketch challenge. I'm using the Hues of Happiness, which is a product suite from the upcoming annual catalog that launches. Can you believe it? Next week, next Tuesday, you will be able to order from the new catalog. I am so excited about this new catalog. So if you're watching me and you don't have a catalog and you live in Canada, and you don't have a regular demonstrator, all sorts of caveats, I'm happy to send you a catalog. Just let me know that you'd like one and I will get one in the mail to you. All right, let me switch over to my desktop. Hey, Nancy, and we will get started with this card. Hey, Lee, welcome. All right, so these are the measurements, first of all, that I shared. I've just kind of written them out. So I've got a card base. Card base that is 5.5, and there I go with this out of focus. I don't know what's going on. I tried to switch to my phone. Hey, Diana, and that didn't work. So I'm going to have to do some practicing with my phone. But so this card base is 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm going to score it at 4.25. That there. And then I've got a piece of this gorgeous designer series paper. I'm going to use the back piece. This is the small little flowers, but I really like this one that's kind of the ombre in Melon Mambo down to Daffodil Delight. I'm going to do it that way. So that's 4 inches by 5.25. And then I've got a piece of vellum that is 2 inches by 4 inches. I have 3 pieces of designer series paper that are 7/8 by 5 inches. And then I've got a 2.25 inch, roughly 2.25 inch circle. And I've used the stylish shapes. I'll show you those in just a minute. These are from the new annual catalog as well. Then I've got a piece of basic white I said 3/4 inch by 2.5. I think this is a little bit, this is about 5/8 of an inch. I cut it. And again, this is a die from the stylish shapes. So I always say cut your sentiment piece, however will fit your sentiment. And then I've got a piece of, as always, a piece of basic white for the inside of the card. That is 4 inches by 5.25. Okay, so let's put those off to the side. I did post the measurements along with the notice that I was going live. So again, this is the Happiness Abounds stamp set and the bundle. This is the dies that go with it. So pretty with these great sentiments and then the flowers. You can cut the flowers out with these dies and the leaves. These are 2 really great kind of border dies. This one looks like, cuts it out so it looks like you've pulled out a piece of paper from a coil notebook. This cuts kind of a pattern with some holes in it as a background, a really nice background texture. So that's the bundle that goes with the Hues of Happiness. And this great designer series paper is just absolutely stunning. So you'll have to, I don't have it with me, all the paper. These are the other dies I'm using. These are the stylish shape dies. So these are new. These are circles and squares, and then these label dies. The cool part of these dies is they cut out the stitching. They're double stitched. So your shape is stitched, but the piece that you cut out, so if I had the hole, don't have it here, out of the melon mambo that I cut out is also stitched around in the opening. So it's kind of nice that you get that double stitching. These are really nice because we haven't had squares for a little while. So getting some circles and squares back, and then these really nice kind of banner label dies. Okay, so first of all, so you guys can do with your card what you'd like as far as, I'm interested to see what you put it together as with these different shapes, but I'll show you kind of what I'm thinking. And again, this is just an idea. So scoring my card base at 4 1/4. This is the side, it's got the raised score line on, so the mountain, so fold into the mountain. Really good crease with your bone folder. Okay, so I'm just going to start to lay my pieces out. So I'm going to put this piece on like this, and then I'm going to put these pieces on. So I'm kind of going to butt these, kind of not quite butt up against each other, but they're going to be pretty close to one another. You could do it in another way. Then I'm going to put my vellum down here. You could emboss your vellum if you wanted to, if you were using vellum. And then I'm going to put this on like this. And nope, I thought I had another piece, but I don't. So I'm going to put my sentiment on like this. I'm going to do some stamping on my melon mambo. So that's kind of what I'm going to do with mine. There are other ways you could do this if you wanted to. You could switch it up. You could put these across like that. You could put your vellum, or if you're using vellum or cardstock, you could put it underneath. All sorts of ways you could put your circle up higher. Anyway, I'm interested to see what you guys do with this. So first of all, I am going to adhere my cardstock or my designer series paper pieces down onto my background designer series paper. This paper is just so pretty. That is part of this suite. And it's kind of got colors that I haven't used for a while, like Melon Mambo. I am not a Melon Mambo kind of person. I don't know. I just don't use it very often. And so I always like it when Stampin' Up! Brings out kind of colors that I don't use very often. Like when they brought out the Waves of the Ocean and it had the Pacific Point. I don't use Pacific Point hardly at all, but I used a lot of it when I was playing with those. All right, so I'm putting just a little bit that you can see. You could, like I said, you could spread these pieces of designer series paper across your whole sheet if you want to. And I grabbed, now this is the metallic woven ribbon. This is actually in Sweet Sorbet. But what I love about this new ribbon that is part of the annual catalog and is in all of the new in colors is it's slightly darker and it actually goes nicely. So even though this isn't Melon Mambo, it goes really nicely with the some of the other colors that we have. So I'm going to put this on. Now I am going to, where's my Stampin' Seal? I am going to put this down with Stampin' Seal, maybe, until I don't use my Stampin' Seal very often. Let's get it rolling here. maybe I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. There we go. Oh, it is just not behaving. Oh, there we go. Okay. I am just putting Stampin' Seal kind of in the middle. And the reason I'm doing it like that is this is where my circle is going to go. So my circle is going to cover that adhesive. So I'm going to put my circle here. So before I put my circle down, I'm going to cut some of this ribbon. And I'm going to wrap it around the back of my designer series paper. This will help hold the vellum in place. So we'll just pop it down and wrap it around the back like this. Would be better if I had it kind of even. Let's get it in the middle. That's what I'm trying to do. There we go. All right, so now when I've got some ribbon on, I like to use Stampin' Seal. It just helps to hold the ribbon in place. So this can now go onto the front. Now this woven ribbon is really cool. You can actually, it does fray, but you can intentionally fray it if you want. And so I think I'm going to take a piece and I'm going to have to put some glue dots because this ribbon, my vellum is kind of popping up in the corners. But so I've just got a piece. I'm going to try a faux bow with my woven ribbon here. Oops. Faux bow, if I can do it. Okay. There we go. Now, where did my glue dots? There they are. Let's take a glue dot because my vellum is popping up on the corners. So let's just put a little bit vellum into, put a glue dot into the corner just to hold my vellum down there. Now I'm going to take the point of my Take Your Pick tool, and I am going to intentionally fray my ribbon just to give it a different look. So just take your Take Your Pick tool and run it through this ribbon, and you will get these threads, and it just gives it a different look. It's kind of cool. It's probably easier to start close to the end and start to fray it, and then you can kind of put the point in a little closer to the middle of the ribbon. And I'm going to trim some of this off so it's not quite so long. But it just gives it a nice kind of look, different look than a bow. Okay, we will trim that. But like I said, it's really pretty ribbon. It's and I said it's not Melon Mambo, but I think it goes with the Melon Mambo and this paper that is a bit ombre. Now I'm going to do a bit of stamping on here. I have the Melon Mambo ink out, and I have this big flower image. So I'm just going to kind of take and put some of the flower on here. So stamp the flower, not fully on, but kind of half on twice, and like that. And then I will put my sentiment over part of it. We're going to put this on with dimensionals. I had to go and get a new pack of dimensionals. Almost out. Gosh. I go through glue and dimensionals. I don't know about you, but I go through a lot of them. So let's just put that like that. Kind of get this in place. Let's trim this a little bit. you go. Oh, I need that. Okay, and now I'm going to make this a birthday card. I love these sentiments. I'll show you what it looks like if I just stamp this on here. I love the kind of long tail on each side of the sentiment. And so I've got my birthday, and my tail is kind of going to go on and off of my sentiment piece like that. And again, we're going to use some dimensionals. One in the middle so it doesn't sag. And then this can go kind of across like that. Let's do some more. There. All right, now I've got some, these are they're called Glossy Dot Assortment, and they are part of this, and they come in Gorgeous Grape, Melon Mambo, Daffodil Light, and Pool Party. So let's use some of the Melon Mambo ones on here, just because they're so bright and pretty. And then one there. And then the last thing is the inside of the card. So I've got this. Let's take the Melon Mambo. And I'm just going to stamp this flower down in the corner like that. And I'm going to take, so this is the Wink of Stella. So if you take your Wink of Stella, and while your image is still a little bit wet, I'm going to just get this going. I think this is, oh yeah. So always when you're squeezing your Wink of Stella, always squeeze it off of your stamped image. Otherwise you will get a big splodge. And if you just take and color with your Wink of Stella, not only will you make it shiny, you will you will get some of the color from the ink. The Wink of Stella seems to make the ink run a little bit. I don't know if run's the right word, but you will get some of the pink. So I don't know if you can see, but I'm getting kind of a bit of a pink image. So all what I'm really doing is coloring with my Wink of Stella, so that it not only is it pink, but it's got the shimmer to it. And I don't know, because this ink dries really quickly. Like for the most part, you don't actually realize that this ink isn't completely dry. So I just wipe off that until the color comes off. But I don't know whether what the Wink of Stella has in it, that it seems to allow the ink just to move a little bit longer than what it would. Oh gosh, glue on me. I have been, I let my glue just sit here and it's got a bit of a glob in it. I'm going to have to take your pick tool to get it's got a bit of a clog in it. So we'll just put the lid on it for the moment. I managed to get enough out. And then this can go on the inside of the card. So my Wink of Stella is not quite dry yet, so I'm just going to take and press it down like that. There. Yeah, I got glue on my fingers. I hate getting glue on my fingers. All right, so there's my birthday card. So like I said, let me bring back in the sizes of the pieces that I told you to cut. So these are on the, I can put them underneath this video as well. I probably should have done that, but I did put them when I posted that I was going live, these pieces. So lots of different ways that you could use this. This is what I did with my card. And you could do it all sorts of different ways with these pieces. So I'm excited to see what you do with with these size of pieces and how you put your card together. Don't forget to share. If you're part of my Facebook group, share in my group. I love to see your cards. And gosh, it's coming up April 30th. So May 1st, which I believe is Sunday, I will be doing a draw from people who have shared their cards over April. And I will be sending out some happy mail to a couple of people, or maybe 3 people, depending on how many. Lots of people have shared, so it'll probably be three people will get some happy mail from me for sharing their beautiful projects over the course of April. All right, everybody, let's see. Let's go back. All right, there we go. Thanks so much for joining me. I will be back live. Actually, I won't be live on Saturday. Saturday is our stamp camp with the Creativity Abounds team. So we're going to be live with the stamp camp starting at 3 o'clock Pacific tomorrow, all the way through till about 5 o'clock on Saturday night, off and on. So I will not be live on Saturday, but I will be live on Sunday at 12 noon Pacific. If you don't have anything to do on Saturday night, I will be doing Stampin' Chats. So I will be posting the Zoom link for that, and feel free to join me with a project for a couple of hours on Saturday night. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Happy stamping. Bye.